All right, let's go into bundle branch blocks. The bundle branches are specialized electrical conduction tissue that happen right after the His bundle, which is this guy. So there's the right bundle and there's the left bundle. And I'm going to show you an example of left bundle branch block here first. So this can stop working because of a myocardial infarction or degeneration of the myocardial tissue in that area. And this is what it'll look like on an ECG. In lead 1, that's the key lead typically for left bundle branch block, it looks like this. The QRS is wide, so it's more than 0.12 seconds. That's the criterion. In this instance, it's about 0.16 seconds, about 4 little boxes. There's a monophasic R wave in lead 1. So that just monophasic means the QRS only goes in one direction. This would be a biphasic QRS, but it's just monophasic, only goes up and then down. And then in lead V1, you have an RS or QS complex. RS means there's a little R like that, and then there's a big S wave. If it were a QS complex, that would mean there was no R wave. So just imagine that that little R wave isn't there, and it goes straight down. That would be a QS. Then typically you'll see ST deviation opposite the direction of the QRS. So, boop, here it is. There's ST elevation. It's in the opposite direction of the large negative QRS. Here's an example. So we look at lead 1, we see that the complex is wide, and then we see that it just goes up and then down. The way I remember this is it looks like an L to me, and 1 looks like an L, so kind of looks like an L. So when I see this, it makes me think of left bundle branch block. So that's that part of the criteria, and then also over here, we're seeing in V1, it's a QS complex. The ST deviation, we see it more so in lead V3, some upsloping ST elevation. Right bundle branch block. Right bundle branch block is demonstrated on the schematic over here. The block would occur in the right bundle, and then the QRS complexes can look a lot of different ways. And I call that situation the faces of right bundle branch block in V1 and or V2. So right bundle has different faces. This is the most common one here. It's the bunny ears. So a rabbit has bunny ears, and it sounds a lot like right bundle branch block, kind of reminds you of rabbit. And it could look like this too. So those are a couple of bunny ear examples. And that's on this face here, V1 or V2. It can look like this, where there's a small R wave, a bigger S wave, and then an R prime. R prime is an upstroke of the QRS that happens after an S wave. So that's a right bundle. I should also mention that it's got to be greater than 0.12 seconds. So in this instance, that's 4 little boxes. It can also look like this, where there's a little Q wave, and then there's a big R wave. So QR. And then lastly, you could have a little R wave, kind of a big S wave, and then a big R wave, or R prime, big R prime. So right bundles can look any of those ways, and the key is to, first you recognize the QRS is wide, and then you look at V1, and you're looking for any of these patterns here. Let's move on to incomplete right bundle branch block. That's when it looks like a right bundle, but the QRS is shorter, from 0.09 to up to 0.12 seconds. You can see here, we got one of the right bundle faces, but the QRS duration isn't quite 0.12 seconds. It's probably something like 0.11 seconds. It's less than 3 small boxes. So this is an example of incomplete right bundle branch block. And that's super common, and you could think of it as a normal variant. Oftentimes, or in fact most of the time, it's not associated with pathology.